such a nice feeling, warm recipe. It was gone within one evening and I do regret nothing. Is it a banana bread or banana cake? I don't know. And it's non-vegan approved, which is important. So we don't only eat nasty things. It's oil-free, it's sugar-free, which is quite rare for banana breads out there on the internet. And I have to tell you, this recipe was taken from Forks Over Knives app, and it was modified because it did have sugar, which I didn't want. So I replaced it with dates. Dates can be a replacement for sugar. And this is probably the only tip from this video. This was my first time making banana bread. I didn't want it to be oily. I didn't want it to be sugary. So here is the final outcome. So we are starting with some flour. We need some flour for bread, which that totally makes sense. Around 2 cups of flour, but I didn't have flour. You can use actually many kinds of flour. I had buckwheat flour, but it does have this distinct texture and flavor which I didn't want in my bread, so I did blend some oats, and I had the oat flour for this particular banana bread. You would need around 2 cups of that, so I started just blending it all out. So I used around 4 bananas. I scaled everything up from 2 bananas to 4 bananas and all other ingredients as well. Same goes for the flours. We're using around 1/2 cup of nuts, some vanilla flavoring, some baking powder, baking soda, dates, around 5 dates. Mine were really sweet, so you better know the sweetness of your dates. Apple cider vinegar, plant-based milk, and some ground cinnamon. And you can also add a little bit of salt in there, so it does add some flavor. So it's pretty straightforward. It starts smelling really well at this point. Now I'm crushing the nuts. Well, I'm just breaking the nuts. Actually, you can see the oils coming out of those nuts and being smeared all over my fingers. Oh, I love this feeling. I love touching the food that I eat, especially when you need to mix something. My hands are all in there. And speaking of which, we are then mashing the bananas with the fork or with the hand. Hands also work, so love it. Then we need around 1/2 cup of your plant-based milk. My favorites are the pistachio and the walnut. What differentiates a good plant-based milk is its texture. They actually do have this creamy consistency, at least a little bit. Or if you don't have a good plant-based milk around in your neighborhood, do consider making your own. It's actually not that hard, especially if you're making an oat milk. Oat milk is it's really simple. And something that will go to the nuts are our dates. My dates are soaked. I used 6 dates, and this gave a lot of sweetness to the banana bread. If I wanted to make a little bit more like bread and less like a cake, I think the dates is what actually made this banana bread a cake. So, well, I'm not complaining. It was amazing. It was gone in one evening. So we just chop them up and add them to nuts. Yeah, and we end up with 2 cups of flour, and we keep this bowl separate from bananas because now it's time to mix the dry and the wet ingredients. Now it's actually a good time to preheat your oven around 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 180 degrees Celsius, and line your baking shape. And as I said, wet stuff goes together. Bananas go together with the milk. Then we add the ACV, apple cider vinegar, and vanilla, and mix it all well together. The rest of the ingredients, all of them go into the dry stuff. We mix it as well, and after that is done, we can add the wet part into the dry part, and we mix it well so we have the even texture of the banana bread. I would say if you like it chunky, don't break your nuts too small. You will enjoy it more if nuts come in bigger pieces. You can also top this all up with some vegan chocolate or with some chocolate and with some raisins, and this will give you additional sweetness, but the dates did their job. Just mwah. and it's ready to go into the baking form, into the baking shape. It is supposed to look like a heart. It doesn't look like a heart, anyone. And after this, we just send it to the oven. I put it in the middle section of the oven so it cooks more evenly, and it doesn't. And the top layer of the cake, of the bread, does not cook faster than the middle layer. It's going to be there for about 40 to 45 minutes, and as you know, you can taste it with. You can test it with a toothpick, and once it comes out of the bread with the dry toothpick, you know your bread is ready. But overall, it takes around 40 to 45 minutes. It might not look that great, but it tastes amazing. It's not very Instagrammable, to be honest, but the taste and the smell is just phenomenal. The vanilla mixed with the sourness of the apple cider vinegar and with the nuts. Oh my god, this is the next level. And we are done for today with this beautiful banana bread. Remember to know what you eat. Eat as if your life depends on it, and it kind of does. And also, cooking is meant to be fun, and it's meant to be shared with someone. So do have fun, enjoy, and let me know how it goes. And of course, I always appreciate your feedback as a comment or a like. Tell me what you like, tell me what you didn't like, and what I should cook next. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. This means the world to me, and it doesn't cost you anything. Thank you so much for joining, and I catch you later.